presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Ben in San Jose. Ben, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
I just wanted to thank you and your team and everything. I've been using your technique with the 10-minute charts, watching the VIX, and just making a fortune here on the futures.
Isn't it interesting? That's awesome, man.
It's wonderful. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I'm trying out this microphone today because I keep forgetting to put the lapel on. So how about that? We always have to adapt. That's what you got to do in the market and in life. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Let me know if it sounds too tinny. If anything, we'll switch back over to the lapel mic. Yeah, okay. It's going to be a little bit easier. Mr. Producer. Good deal. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, I know. I want to try this out because I kind of like it. I move around a lot, you know. So maybe we'll use them in tandem or something like that. Let's take a look at what we got going on. I mean, quite a nice movement to the upside in the indices. Definitely. Okay. Thanks, dude. Quite a big movement to the upside of the indices, right? I said yesterday I was going to go short in the SPX. I did. Of course, I got in with the leveraged ETFs here. I love what direction it has to offer. That one, SPXS, of course. So regardless, I don't know why we have this purple line here, but trading down off about 2.94% today, at least. Not leveraged ETF, the SPX itself, excuse me, that's the long variation, SPXL, is up 1.04% at 5,998. So just cresting right under the 6,000. Part of me still kind of wants to stay short just a little bit. Volume did end up resolving like all right yesterday and the day prior. You have a nice gap up today. Again, I'm sure volume will be somewhat similar as well. However, I will say that you have this kind of ability to really rally here pretty soon. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? This whole conversation that we've been having for a while of the market kind of being a little bit volatile, but also moving sideways for some time, was no one knew what Trump was going to do, right? And we needed to wait till after his inauguration, even if maybe a couple months afterwards, to see what his international policy was going to really be, regarding generally tariffs, right? Well, today he comes out and he has a conversation with Xi Jinping, which is the president of China. And he said it went fantastic. I mean, you can never predict this kind of stuff, right? And I mean, we have had some seriously, chilling relations with China recently. I mean, I've been covering on this show here, kind of their invasion of our telecom network, right? And how we're gonna have to kind of position ourselves. We're gonna throw out these Huawei devices that are in our telecom backbone and buy American devices, right? And there's plenty of stuff that you hear all the time. I mean, this concept of them being in water treatment infrastructure, of being in gas and power infrastructure. I mean, I'm sure that's all true, right? But this was just a very interesting pivot. So Xi Jinping said it was very positive. Trump said that it was extraordinarily positive as well on his Truth Social. Still find it funny that exists, but it does. What are we trading at right now today on that? You're gonna get IV crushed on this too. I know so many people are trying to buy at their calls or puts on it. You're only off 2.49% at 39, but you had a big rally. Let's see, about January 13th. What is this, the beginning of this week? Anyways, he comes on and he says this was great. Xi Jinping wants the best for both China and America. Just a really interesting pivot. That's pretty solid, meaning that the market can kind of have an understanding of where we all stand on that level, So you get the DXY at least at 109.34 today. You get the composite off about 1.62% at 19,653. Dow Jones Industrial off about 0.83% at 43,511. You get crude coming off a little bit, off about 0.62% at 77.37. I think you have Bolivia and Ecuador, I believe, are going to start drilling a little bit more to meet up with demand in the local area, but maybe a little bit internationally as well. You have gold contract off about 0.46% at 2,738, still doing well compared to what has been going on recently in it. So we're still above that 2,700 level. You have copper off about 1.79% at $4.36. Silver off about 2.29% at $31. You get some of the yields kind of coming up a little bit, just modestly. Let's see, Disney's doing all right, GE's doing all right. Anything substantial? Oh yeah, of course, Tesla up nearly 5% again, and then Roku up 1.89%. One of the things we can talk about, at least in this realm, you only have Lucid up about 0.45%. I've not checked on Rivian after this news. That is telling for sure. So you had Volkswagen come out and say they're looking to deepen their partnership with Rivian. That comes from Der Spiegel. You remember that when this came out that Volkswagen was apparently giving them about what it was like $5 billion or something like that to have access to their operating system. That Rivian stock moved very violently to the upside. And then additionally, you have this information, right, where the DOE loan approved for $6 billion. Now, this was probably priced in, right, because this conversation has been going around. Most likely it was going to get passed. Obviously, they needed to pass it before Trump and really Elon Musk got any kind of power. But I think it is somewhat telling that you're off about 0.73% today. Again, even if you have this thing priced in, that's fine. But the Volkswagen kind of revelation should have maybe moved this stock up a little bit more. Again, I don't have much of an opinion beyond like not wanting to get into Rivian. I'm sure it has staying power at these levels. I mean, although it's been volatile, you've been moving pretty sideways for the past few months, right? I mean, you get kind of like a low here, like a boundary of like 269. You have this high of about 1662, but it's trading really, between 1556 and that 1269 area. I still think they probably won't be profitable. They did exceed expectations, right, for delivery and production, but it's important to keep in mind on this stock that they're the ones who downgraded the expectations. So really, in reality, if you just didn't have them downgraded the expectations, they were right in line with expectations. Doesn't really warrant a movement to the upside like you see it has experienced, at least at the end of December here, beginning of January. And then, of course, it comes back down because they're like, hey, wait, that really isn't as impressive as it should be. So interesting, nonetheless. Of course, I want to see natural gases. This isn't the exact contract I want to look at. We'll take a look at that. We're going to get big deep freeze. Big deep freeze, guys. So right there, folks, we'll be right back. We're going to talk about Intel, Mara, Hut, SPCB, whatever else you guys want to talk about. Let me know. Folks, we'll be right there.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Yeah, I was looking in the Discord during the break. Your dude posted, I don't know what this website is, but historic snowstorms. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at this on NBC News. It is insane. I mean, they're looking to get North Florida to like near below 20 degrees. Now, of course, you're gonna have a lot of precipitation as well, and who doesn't love a freezing cold rain? I experienced that out in Ohio. Very miserable, so I apologize to anyone who has to deal with that, but you are probably stronger for it, I would like to think. At least back on, give me a second, I need to like turn this down a little bit. With everything going on with Trump and Xi, this is going to be interesting, right? It says that I'm not going to focus on this too much longer, but I've been very interested recently in, you know, they're banning TikTok, right? Or at least they're saying they're going to. Supreme Court upheld the decision. So a lot of Americans have been going over to an app called Zhaohongshu, which means Little Red Book, right? Which was Mao Zedong's, kind of like his little manifesto, I suppose, or the CCP's manifesto. But you've had I monitor it because it's very interesting to me, like on a cultural level. And the interactions between Americans and Chinese citizens has been pretty fascinating, actually. Everyone seems like relatively civil, wanting to learn about each other. You know, it's just kind of neat, I would think. And then additionally, you know, you have this massive push for Duolingo, big app, right, that does language learning essentially. Their shares climbed 7% after they've seen a large spike in users signing up to learn Mandarin. Company confirmed that there has been a 216% increase in Mandarin learners using the app compared to a year earlier. It is unbelievable to me. Now, I'm definitely not recommending you go and download an actual Chinese app. You know, you do what you want, I suppose. But I will say it has been vastly fascinating because, you know, we don't really get to interface, I think, with Chinese citizens very often. They certainly don't get to interface with us very often either. And a lot of times you can end up looking at things through certain lenses that are prepared for us. You know, partly things that might have some basis in truth for sure, and other things that might get exaggerated. Regardless, I think on a human-to-human level, this has been very fascinating. It's interesting seeing Americans ask Chinese people about what are some stereotypes they have of us, and then of course vice versa. And yeah, it's been interesting. So anyways, Duolingo doing quite well. Maybe look at some of these other language apps and see if anyone else wants to is going to get an increase in user interaction because of Zhaohongshu. Very interesting kind of stuff. Let's move over a little bit because I got to talk about it. Intel. Remember, we had this conversation in the past. It feels like it all goes in one big circle. So just today, you had this massive move up in Intel, right? So really the big spike, not even really on that much volume, pre-market, right? It just kind of stays throughout the day. There's really actually not been very much action. You have a little bit of a push to an all-time high, and then really a sell-off right after that. What is it on, right? I just want to pull up the article just because I want to get the verbiage correct. Give me one moment here. And we covered their new GPU that they released, right? Intel, we've all been through it, right? Really, they fired Pat Gelsinger. It seems like people are really honing in on the real problem, which is just basically the board of directors for Intel. Maybe not so much Pat Gelsinger himself, but they completely dropped the ball on fabrication. They dropped the ball on compute chips. The CPUs were very underwhelming. I think they kind of felt pressured to get Raptor out, and it ended up being a massive failure. And then they tout the Battle Mage, which we went over. This is the Arc B570, which is the graphics card review. And nobody wants to use it for AI. And it sells out, but it seems like people are actually using it for computers, like actual gaming, which is what GPUs were designed for prior. Still in a tough spot. The news is that some, again, shadowy hidden company that has the capabilities to buy Intel is thinking of doing so. And remember, we went over this with Qualcomm as well. Now, of course, buy the rumor, sell the news. I understand that perspective, and maybe conditions have changed a little bit, right? Gelsinger is no longer in charge. I'm sure the board of directors is completely out of their wits, and the reason I say that is because they've run this company down over a long period of time. I mean, just again, to kind of reinforce what is going on with this company. I mean, you're trading July of last year at 37.10. You're trading at 21.36 right now. You get down to a low of 18.51. I mean, look, in December we were at 51.40. I mean, this stock has just hemorrhaged market cap, and you're still at a good market cap right now, right? 92,137. They're just not competing in the way that investors want to see chip makers and chip fabricators and designers compete. They're just not. So this move again is they might be bought out, but that is sheer speculation. We don't even know what company it might be. Very unclear stuff. So just keep in mind, and I think honestly that's probably why you only get major movement pre-market, right? Everyone else sees it and they're like, okay, that's great. But I don't really buy it, And this stock really, as well, has gotten some really negative attention online. People view it like if you open a position in Intel, I'm talking about retail investors, which I think is a valid base now. And I think we've been seeing that. But no retail investor wants to touch Intel whatsoever, just because they've seen the capital destruction capabilities of Intel, which is kind of interesting. Let's talk a little bit as well about Red Cat, because I've been covering them. A quick little summary of what Red Cat is. They make drones. They got picked out to do the Tranche 2 for short-range reconnaissance drones for the U.S. Army, okay? So you're getting absolutely annihilated today, off 14.65%. I think you're trading at like a 900 million market cap earlier, at 691 right now. Just to pull back, kind of look at the speculation that's been going on with this stock. They had, I guess the earnings didn't do too bad on it, but you had following days kind of selling off from it, and they did not do very well on earnings, but their forward guidance was very interesting. The CEO said that they're expecting 800 million to 1 billion, which is pretty intense. Just today, you had, Carousel Capital come out and release a short report, right? So they start off saying they're short Red Cat, 1 billion drone manufacturer that's had more than 900 million market cap over the past 9 months. They're saying Army budget documents clearly delineate the short-range reconnaissance budget for 2025 of just under 25 million, and an expectation of about the same in the medium term. The Army also intends to refresh the SRR model every 2 to 3 years while remaining open to switching contractors. Yeah, and this is what they say. That contrasts very sharply with $400 million over the 5 years from this specific tranche, which is kind of interesting. So I looked up what the tranche was because there was apparently some discrepancy somewhere. So you can go to CRS reports. Let's go to the break. We'll talk about this a little bit when we get back from the break.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This market has turned red, Tigers, and the question we should be asking ourselves is how to position for a potential bear market. Plenty of gains can be made in bull markets, but if we've entered bearish territory, that strategy needs to change. So, how do we pivot so we can see green in the red? Join Larry this month, January 10th and 24th for live trading action. You'll sit next to Larry as he places live trades, explains his methodology, and answers questions live. Larry brings his decades of trading knowledge directly to you, teaching you how to navigate this shifting market. Go to the front page of TFNN.com today and secure your spot fast for live trading Fridays with Larry Pesavento. Happy New Year, Tigers. We'll see you January 10th and 24th. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. We're talking a little bit about a short seller report coming out on Red Cat. Also, I want to say, I'm pretty sure I said 800 million to 1 billion. I meant to say 80 million to 100 million is what Red Cat was forecasting for 2025. So the short seller says they're only getting 25 million, right? Because that's the size of tranche 2. And so I looked it up, and it seems like this is correct based on Congressional Research Service. I mean, it's from .gov, so you'd like to kind of see something like that. And you can do this for a lot of stuff. This is like really neat. And it's always worth kind of doing the DD for that. But yeah, I mean, it says here, Army requested 22 million. I don't see where, I kind of agree with the short seller. I don't really see where you get 80 million to 100 million of that for, unless they're anticipating, you know, quite a bit and stuff like that. Now, the unfunded budget, right, includes 70.5 million procurement funding for the SSR, but then also the medium range and then unmanned aerial systems themselves. So unless they're intending to try to capture that, I'm not sure what the specific criteria is for MRRs. But as far as I know, the teal drones, which are been changed, the name's been changed to like Shadow something or whatever, but it's really the teal 3 drone, is strictly short range reconnaissance. And the reason it went out on that is because it doesn't use GPS, right? And they partnered with Palantir in order to essentially give it information of where it is, and it can move around based on that internal computing as opposed to communicating with GPS. GPS is the major way that they're jamming these drones. So yeah, I mean, I don't see where they're getting 80 to 100 million. And I certainly don't think, I mean, as far as drone companies are concerned, the real play for them is during this SRR build out, whether that's going to be in like active war zones, whether that's going to be just like changing the way our platforms operate. You know, we're very like large platform heavy, and the battlefield has changed quite significantly, and we've seen that in Ukraine and Russia. So, you know, if you're a drone company, you're looking to get into it, like invest in one, you definitely want to get one that's being looked at, or at least trying to vie for military contracts, because I don't really think, at least in, you know, the commercial space, right, like the civilian space, that it really necessarily matters. I don't see a huge demand for that kind of stuff in the near term, certainly in the military. But yeah, anyways, our cat is getting really hit for that. Now, one of the things I will say is just bizarre. You can click on this thing. Okay, it's back up. Oh yeah, no, this thing. This is difficult to kind of look at. But if you go to the Army Mill portals for the actual Tranche 2, it seemed like it existed at some point, but now it doesn't, which is very frustrating, okay? So you can only really get the information you need from this paper, and really that sheet we just looked at, but it just kind of says what the paper says. There was something else that existed, again, for Tranche 2 investments that kind of broke it down a little bit further, but for whatever reason, the military kind of took it off. Jambalaya was asking about a company like Kratos. So this is not one that I'm extremely familiar with. It looks like they are trying to get into space communications. Okay, yeah, and military for sure. Missile defense, ISR drones, C2 systems. It's kind of interesting. I'm gonna pull them up on Edgar real quick just to see what they got rocking. But no doubt, I mean, like, there's demand for this kind of stuff. Obviously, you have Palantir releasing videos for their swarm drones and drone supremacy. There's really these small platform kind of systems are going to really, really dominate in the future. And it makes sense, right? I mean, you're not risking human lives, one, right? They're not really a large target. You can overwhelm, you know, opposition, you know, kind of Zerg rush concept, and they cost very little per unit versus, you know, let's even say a Predator drone or, you know, a jet that costs billions and billions of dollars. This is KTOS. I'm just gonna look up their latest 10Q just to see what's going on with them. They have a lot of cash. 301 million. That's quite a change from the year prior, so I wonder how they got that. Total assets at about 1.9 billion. Long-term debt at 177 million, so liabilities in total are 569 million. services revenue seems to be like marginally better. So for the 3 months in 2024 of September of 2024, you had 103 million versus last year of 106. But on the 9 months ending, you had a little bit more at about 15 million to the upside. Total costs definitely exceed. This is kind of strange, huh? Here, let me just pull this over so you don't just watching me look at something. Okay, so total revenues, 275 million. Okay, you're definitely up at least on the 9 months, which is nice. Total costs staying somewhat similar, again, quarter to quarter. It looks like they get something else going on in prior quarters for this. But compared to 635 to 566. Yeah, okay. They have a decent gross profit there. Nice, yeah. I mean, I gotta look a little bit more into this company. What's the ticker, KTOS? I don't know if they have any contracts out. Again, I kind of have to take some more time to look at it. 33, you have a 5 billion market cap. Yeah. 33.63. Jambalaya, do you know if they won any military contracts or anything like that? Autonomous drones? That's pretty cool. Again, the idea, right? You can do this for a lot of different things. Of course, military, I think the border is going to be a huge discussion going forward. I mean, it already has been. So we'll see how that kind of mobilizes out. You'll probably, I mean, Trump's not opposed to spending federal money. It's just kind of on what he wants to spend it on. And so you got to look for that kind of stuff. Very interesting, especially for like edge compute too. I mean, you can think outside of like conflict for these kind of things, right? Like observing farmland, observing erosion or whatever it might be, even manufacturing, right? You can use kind of drones for that reason, right? I mean, they're just like, again, another integration for IoT, right? So kind of cool. I don't know. I'll have to take a closer look at Kratos Defense. That seems really neat, Jambalaya. Thanks for telling me that. Let's take a look as well, since we're kind of talking about edge compute and AIoT and stuff like that. And it's super common. Man, you know, I was talking to a buddy, and I want to get into this company, right? And we've spoken about it a lot in the past. I think I've brought it up maybe a few times on the show. We'll talk about them when we get back from the break. But this is super interesting. This movement to the upside is pretty impressive at 22.55. But it's one of those things, like when you get a gut feeling after you've been looking at something for so long and like actually researching it, it might be good to follow it or at least take a little bit of position. Because I was looking around that $8 mark and I would have been very happy had I actually pulled the trigger. So folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Jambalaya, thank you for sending that to me in the den. He gave me a little oversight on Kratos from their investor relations as well. Guys, if you want to get kind of access to that, again, I strongly recommend you go to TFNN.com. You go to the services tab. This is what we're talking about all day in here, right? You go to the services tab. You can go right over here to the Tiger's Den trading room. Just get in there. It's $1. Super simple to set up. We have all the steps below, right? So just scroll down. You can follow that. We're going to get you in there. These guys and gals in the den are constantly looking at different things. They're constantly placing trades. It is fantastic if you are a veteran trader. If you're just getting into it, which I know we have a few people who are just starting out, strongly recommend getting into the Discord because it's great. Okay, let's look at SPCB, Supercom Limited. They are headquartered in Israel, I believe Tel Aviv, on Rothschild Road. You can tell I've been looking at this company for a while. Market cap right now at 26 million. You have some impressive movement to the upside of 22.35%. Not on any substantial volume. Of course, you can see volume today of 719. Actually, it looks like we are kind of approaching, which is kind of fascinating. The 50-day average volume is 1.2, but I think this gets skewed a little bit from this date right here. And this has been on basically government contracts, right? What these guys do is essentially edge compute for IoT devices and mainly security IoT devices. So a lot of like security cameras, they're getting put in juvenile detention centers, getting put in prisons and so on. They're expanded into Europe as well. Of course, you have a lot of good tech coming out of Israel. Recent business highlights for them. You can't really find them on Edgar, right? Because they're a foreign company. Of course, you can find their like postings, but you can find some of their quarterlies on their website, which I strongly recommend doing. So you had a revenue of about 21.3 million from 20.9 million, gross profit increasing 10.7 from 7.9 million. You had a nice gross profit margin increase of 50.1% from 37.7%. Operating income is good. It's trading. It's at 1.13 million compared to 0.91. This is just the most recent quarterly. Net income of 2.52 million, and again, this is from a loss of 2.48 million. So quite a nice change for them. Contracts are expanding very heavily. They received new orders totaling 13.5 million from European governments. These orders are expected to be delivered by the end of 2024, further solidifying Supercom's leadership. Prime with Electra, with the Israel prison system, which is pretty neat. Additionally, they have, I don't know. I think this is like really fascinating kind of stuff. I believe too, this is the same company that has, you can put it within your home, or really your parents' home if you have an elderly parent. If they fall, it can detect that, which I think is kind of fascinating. I believe that's this company. But regardless, just their security thing in and of itself is fantastic. In the past, they've been awarded $33 million for Romania's national EM contract. So yeah, this is some pretty good movement. I think they have some staying power. My only concern is you just can probably get dilution with it. this, right? I mean, still pretty small cap, right? You're at 26 million, trading at $12.99. I'm surprised they didn't dilute even at these levels. I'm not sure what their angle is on that, and there's not much discussion with it at all. But you can see here, even they get an Ohio electronic monitoring contract. I believe that's for the juvenile probation system. It is juvenile probation agency, in Ohio. This is their pure security platform. I think it's a very interesting company and kind of worth doing a DD on. I think if we get a pullback to any level, obviously it's some pretty decent support. It's support. You're closing up on these days, but you're really trailing around this $8 level. Movement up to the upside. Obviously, some pretty strong movement today. Not extreme volume, but again, I kind of have a feeling, this is getting skewed by this bar here. So it's worth looking into, but just keep in mind, when you're talking about these really small cap stocks, you can get dilution and some freaky stuff going on with it. But it's just something I've been following, and it's nice to see it getting some attention. I wonder if they have some news coming out, or if they've released, or planning to release some new earnings, especially with some of the contracts that they won from Europe. Let's take a look as well at RZLV. This is a company I was talking about a little bit, Resolve AI Limited. You're trading off 5.32% today after some pretty fantastic movement to the upside yesterday, trading at 280, market cap of 604 million. You're starting to get a lot of analyst attention to this stock. So what they essentially do is customer point of service AI, which I think is really fascinating, This is what LLMs were designed to do, right? When ChatGPT came out, the way that they were talking about it before it really, really caught on was you could deploy this on your e-commerce business or whatever the heck it might be, and the AI would take over and have this discussion, with your client or with your potential client. I mean, this can expand out to anything, that has to do with dealing with customers. I mean, you can do this over phone, even things like Shopify, right? Like if we had something, or if I had some company that I was running through that, instead of hiring someone to sit there and answer phone calls and answer customer questions, you could just have AI do it. I mean, think about the amount of money that you can save with that, right? And so we're getting a lot of attention with it, especially in America. I believe this is a UK company, but still somewhat interesting. Worth, again, doing your DD on it, seeing how much money they make. I think it's kind of interesting. HR solutions as well. Reduction in ticket cost. Some interesting stuff. Yeah, you can go to resolve.ai if you want to check out some more. But I think I'm going to probably take a position in this. I just want to check I don't want to have to dig through this right now while I'm on the air. The last time I looked at their financials or what they were reporting, it actually seemed pretty all right, but I think the market cap was a little bit high for me, so I'm kind of looking to see them expand a little bit more and get adopted a little bit more. And I think it's tough for UK companies as well, but that's Resolve right now. Another one that we were talking about, which I still think is in a rough situation, but I did email them before the beginning of the show, is this One Meta. And these guys do an AI company. And the reason why I'm bringing up AI, I guess I should say, is you're still getting a lot of money from venture capital into AI. Now, the ones that have gotten a lot of attention recently are going to be basically law AIs. So you can, if you're a client or whatever, you can communicate with your lawyer's company or firm or whatever it might be via that, or lawyers can use it as a database as well to kind of help write contracts and stuff, which I think definitely has a spot, especially as AI gets a little bit better. But One Meta was interesting to me. And I'd find this interesting too, as we're talking about this Chinese application. It is very difficult to constantly have to go and translate the language, right? And I think about that on an even broader scale. In fact, I was even listening to something last night with Dick Cheney and one of the Chinese foreign ministers at a UAE conference, and I really could not understand the Chinese foreign minister, unfortunately. They had subtitles, but I was driving, and I thought, how phenomenal would it be for something like what One Meta offers to be adopted at that level? So what they do is live, real-time translation. I mean, this is used on Microsoft Teams. I don't understand why they don't post anything on investor relations. That's what I emailed them about. Are you guys ever gonna put something like that on it? Because I would like to see this more. I'd like to see more analysts overview of this kind of stuff. What is going on? Are you guys not making any money? Anyways, folks, stay right there. We'll be right back for a short summary. We're going to wrap out this day. We're going to have a great weekend. Be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup, watching the Tom O'Brien Show. We got a short segment here, and then we're going to wrap up the day. Let's take a look just quickly at some of these kind of miners. This transitions off a little bit since they have data center compute possibilities. We have HUT up about 1.47%. We got Mara, Bitcoin holding company right now, trading up 9.43%. You have MSTR, so many tickers in this world, up 8.26%. You have Bitcoin trading at 104,860. Unbelievable movement back to the upside, trading up 4.86% today. You have a lot of people calling for about a 185 price target for the end of 25. I mean, why not? I mean, Trump seems relatively bullish, but this is coming from Bloomberg. You have Trump planning to designate a cryptocurrency as a national priority. Okay, so the executive order is expected to create a crypto advisory council. It's so amazing seeing how quickly this thing gets adopted. The order is expected to name crypto as a national imperative or priority, strategic wording intended to guide government agencies to work with the industry, according to people familiar with that matter. It's also slated to create a crypto advisory council to advocate for the industry's policy priorities. Yeah. I mean, he hosted the crypto ball was massive. You had some kind of sell-off, obviously, with Bitcoin after it hit about 101, I believe. But I mean, you can't argue again with this movement to the upside. MicroStrategy still don't think, we've spoken about that a lot, how it's way off its net asset value. But pretty fascinating. Now, you've seen some hit pieces recently too on Bitcoin, especially just coming out from the kind of traditional media, speaking on how Russia is using it to evade sanctions, right? And I thought that was going to be the beginning of a much larger conversation that was going to kind of suppress the growth of crypto for a while, but it didn't. And of course, you have Pepe trading up pretty heavily. You know, they're novel with their perp contracts. I think you had like XRP, to my chagrin, trading at 327. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. We will see you Monday morning, 9 a.m. for Tommy O'Brien's Morning Market Kickoff. Take care. Have a great weekend.